Hello. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can actually hear me? Please. Thumbs up. Because I've not done this before on YouTube. Can you hear me? Pina colada and a blanket. That's quite the combo. But I respect it. Okay, great. Oh, you can hear me. I feel very awkward about these things. It's a little bit like I feel like I'm kind of hosting a meeting here, but I hope we can all relax and talk to each other like friends. Thanks for coming, and I'm impressed by all your snacks. Big hearty sausage casserole. That does contrast with the pina colada quite nicely, but I admire both approaches. I've got a Guinness. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining me. This is an exciting day because I have just released new music, Matches, brand new single, and it's the first original song that I wrote that's been out for a little while. So I said to a friend earlier, it feels a little bit like dropping your... Well, I haven't got kids, but I imagine it might feel a little bit like dropping a kid off at school for the first time when you release a song. Feels slightly like you're abandoning something precious to public scrutiny, but so far so good. So yeah, I thought we could just have a little chat. You can ask me questions about the song, or indeed about anything else musical, or you can just continue telling me what you had for dinner. That's also welcome. I had a little steak in a pita bread because it was on offer at Aldi. That's what I had for dinner. So yeah, questions, please do let me know if there's anything you want to know. I'm very glad you're enjoying the single. Yeah, I'm really proud of this one. I think sometimes you write a song and you instantly know that it's a good one and that you're going to want to do something with it, and this is one of those. Start for 10, where did the inspiration come from? Well, it actually came from a tattoo on a woman's back, which might not be something you've heard before, but the tattoo said they burnt women, not witches, and that really stuck with me, and it was something that I'd been wanting to write about for ages and didn't get around to. And then I was doing a little songwriting retreat on my own at Wenlock Abbey, which is this really old, kind of spooky building to be in. And that was when it all came out. But yeah, it just got me thinking about how we still talk about the witch trials and how they burnt witches. And I read quite a lot of essays about it, because I'm a nerd. And it all kept referring to them as witches, even though the whole point was the majority of people who were burnt during that time were A, women, and B, not witches. They were burnt because, for lots of reasons, not many of them for being actual witches. So that was the inspiration. I have not been to the Witch Monument in Vardø, Arctic Norway. I would like to. If someone would like to get me a flight to Norway, I'll go there tomorrow. Is it a one-off single or part of a bigger project? I couldn't possibly tell you. I suppose all I could say is keep an eye out for future announcements in the very near future. That's, I suppose, all I can say. It's a single for now. Stay tuned. I suppose that would be the answer. Will I play it live? Yes, absolutely. I have already trialled it live a couple of times. You might have seen, or you might not have done, at Wenlock Abbey, just after I wrote it. I did a couple of private concerts that only went out to my mailing list. So if you came along to that, one of the lucky few people in the room, you'd have heard it then, when it was still only 24 hours old. And I've also sung it at a couple of festivals this summer, because I do feel like I have to play things live a few times until I feel happy. But I'll be playing it on the Suzanne Vega tour, which starts very soon as well. So that's exciting. Any chance of seeing me back at Folk East? I'd love to come back to Folk East. I love that festival. That is one of my favourite festivals. Great people who run that. So, and also I love any excuse to go over to Suffolk or Norfolk. East Anglia is one of my favourite parts of the world, so I hope so. Plus I want to see this new site that they've got. Where are we at? I keep missing things. Other female singer-songwriters I admire: Kate Busby, Sergio Rose, Cara Dillon. I mean, all of those. I mean, I suppose an obvious one would be Joni Mitchell and Sandy Denny. Big fans of them. I've also been enjoying some PJ Harvey lately. Who else have I been enjoying? Anna Calvi. Yeah, there's some amazing women making music at the moment. I'm really excited about supporting Suzanne Vega because I realise it's the first time I've supported a solo woman. I think it'd be really nice to share a stage. And Laura Marling, which sounds like an obvious one, but weirdly I hadn't actually fully delved into her music, I don't think. I'd only ever heard a few songs, but I've been doing this thing recently where I listen to an album in full, and I have made a little spreadsheet and I make notes. And her songwriting and her chord structures, and Maddie Cunningham as well. Madison Cunningham, don't know why I shortened her name there, we don't know each other. Amazing songwriters, like such beautiful chord progressions. So yeah. Will there be a physical release, or do we have to wait till the next album? There might be a physical release. Could be the next album. I don't know. Just have to wait and see, I suppose. But yeah, this song will be out on physical at some point, I would have thought. I have not seen Simon Armitage's BBC documentary about the Pendle Witches. I wonder if that's still on iPlayer. I might have to check that out. I don't know if any of you saw as well, Maidstone have just tried to get a load of witches, or women rather, pardoned for being executed for being witches today, which I thought was very timely. I promise this song isn't part of their marketing technique. It's simply a coincidence that I've released this on the same day that that's been made public. But if they would like to use the song in any of their marketing, they're more than welcome. Where are we at? Not a very good poker face. I don't know what you're talking about. Number of themes in your songwriting: nature, family history. How do you use this to help you move your music forward? Yeah, I think there probably are a couple of themes that always pop up. I seem to write about seasons a lot. I seem to write about family and home quite a bit. But I think it's normal for musicians to have certain things that they keep returning to, because I think there's certain things that just continue to resonate with you more strongly. And for me, when I sit down to write, I don't try and, I very rarely kind of think, all right, I have to write a song about something different, I have to write about this. I tend to just write about something that's been on my mind. So if those are the themes that are often on my mind, I think that's what kind of pops out. But this song, Matches, was a little bit different in that it was kind of one idea that I hadn't really considered before that really stuck around, and I really wanted to write about it. But with that in mind, it has taken a little while to actually write about it, because I wanted to get it right, and that takes time sometimes. So yeah, I think actually between the idea of wanting to write about Matches and it actually being finished, it was probably at least a year. It was an idea that sat on the back burner. I have a list on my phone of all the things I kind of think I might want to write a song about, or sentences that crop up, or something someone says, or a little something I see. So that would be my top tip for anyone wanting songwriting inspiration. You have to keep notes available at all time. Sorry, sip for Guinness. The neighbours are shouting. I'm not sure why. I do apologise if you can hear that. Are we venturing into dance material? When are we reaching that era? I mean, I would say, Andrew Riley, anything is dance material if you want it to be. I have witnessed, and I love this, by the way, this is not a criticism, I have been very surprised sometimes at festivals seeing people trying to dance to a couple of my songs, and I think all power to them. Why not? It's not a dance song until someone tries to make it one. But I would say, yes, Matches does have a bit of a beat to it, and perhaps there is the odd song still to come at some point in the future that might also have a bit of a groove. Yeah, I think it's nice to have a bit of fun, isn't it? And also, I really enjoyed, with Matches, I really enjoyed creating that kind of, I wanted it to feel ominous. If you want to dance to ominous stuff, I suppose that's okay, but I really wanted it to feel driving and have pace. And and feel like a kind of almost like an army that marches towards you as the song goes on. That was the kind of vibe we were going for with the percussion and things. So kind of dancing, kind of marching, a bit like a Zumba class. Right. I would like to play again at Greenbelt. I played there last summer, not this summer, last summer. I'd love to play there again. We arrived at the stage just as they were doing, I got this wrong, I'm worried I'm going to say it wrong again. I want to say it was called like Beers and Praise or something, but I might get the wrong. Beers and Hymns? Was it Beers and Hymns? Anyway, something exciting was going on in the tent and it was a good vibe. Gosh, you're all typing. Okay, let me just scroll back up. Thank you. I think the drums work well as well. I really enjoyed. I think the percussion was kind of, we almost built the song around the percussion. Let's start saving for the formats. Who knows? Will there be a solo tour in the near future? Yeah, again, hope so. Keep your eyes peeled. Oh man, it's just when I'm not a politician. I'm having to score. Sorry if I miss your question. If I miss your question, please ask it again. Have I used the same musicians as Pendulum Swing on matches? I haven't actually. This was kind of a whole new territory, except for me, obviously, as the same musician. It felt like new territory, new musicians, different producer. He produced the 2 Simon Armitage tracks. But yeah, I kind of just went for a whole new, fresh approach, and that was really freeing and really good fun. I really enjoyed working on this track because we could just I tried to approach it and just kind of let it see where it led itself instead of trying to make it like the last album or anything. So yeah, totally new. Tell you about the music video. Well, I can tell you because you're about to see it. But again, I wanted to kind of give that impression of something that's it feels quite dark and pagan maybe, and almost feels like the witch trials, like women about to get burnt at the stake, but then it flips it. Because that was the whole point of the song, was I wanted to show that these women, I wanted it to be almost like flip history on its head a little bit and show that they, even though you can try and burn us and shut us up, you can't stop women, I suppose, was the kind of idea. So I wanted it to, the whole "we have matches too" thing. So I wanted the video to feel quite angry and quite empowering, and for it to feel almost like a celebration rather than a punishment or an execution or something like that. You'll be pleased to hear. And there's some dancers in it, and we filmed it in one long night this summer. And I stayed up till about 1 a.m. doing this with the wonderful Matty Davison, who I think is in the chat somewhere. And there's some Morris dancers from Bristol called Heaps Morris. There's all this. You're gonna see it, but I love it, and it feels dark and gritty, but also kind of uplifting and empowering. And I can't wait to share this video. We put a lot of time into it. I love Erland Cooper. That's a great reference. John Manager's very handsome. Hello, John. Right, where are we at? Would I recommend a streaming? I would say at the moment I just appreciate all the support and word spreading. Obviously, yeah, I think streaming has its benefits. As is buying albums, as is coming to gigs. I personally I just support from all angles is great. Obviously there are positives and negatives to it, as I'm sure you know there's a lot of conversations about that, but yeah. You could have a drink to Travelling Man. Sorry, I'm struggling to keep up with all your wonderful questions. Any advice for beginner singer-songwriters? Yeah, like I said, keep notes of things that inspire you. So keep a notepad on you at all times. If you're playing an instrument, keep your instrument out and in reach at all times, because you need to be able to grab the opportunity when inspiration strikes. I would also say just practice. I know it's really boring, but just start writing, just start playing. You won't write, well, maybe you will, but no one expects you to write your Grammy #1 the first go. So you just have to kind of keep writing and do it for the love at first, because being a musician is a long slog. And if you don't love what you're doing, I don't know how anyone could keep going. So yeah, just nurture a love for it. Read, if you're writing lyrics, read a lot, listen to lots of other music. Just try and get inspiration from wherever you can. Okay, hang on, I'm gonna have to read a second. You could, where are we at? My experience of being in the studio with Rob Ellis, he was amazing. So Rob Ellis produced this track and also did the drums and percussion. So he's so creative and was very good at kind of managing our time in a way that I can't. So for example, if he felt like I was getting stuck on something, he'd be able to say, "Hey, pause on that. We're going to come back to that in a bit." He's so experienced. He's worked with amazing artists like Marianne Faithfull, PJ Harvey. I know he's worked with Tom York and stuff in the past. Basically, lots of my heroes. So being able to kind of lean on his experience was great. But he's also just really good fun. He was a really nice guy. I loved working with him and hanging out with him. So yeah, a real pleasure. And just, yeah, some of his approaches to stuff was great. Like there's a sound in Matches that I want you to listen out for when you're watching the video, which is kind of a sound. It almost feels like, I think it sounds like armour rattling, which is why I wanted it to feel like a kind of army marching towards you. But it actually isn't. It's Rob's percussion box doing that. And then we ran it through various tapes and synths and things. And yeah, there's also one other sound on it. I almost don't want to tell you. I want you to guess in the comments what you think makes the sound of the fire crackling at the start, because it isn't fire. So I'll let you think on that while I look at your questions. I haven't got my houseboat yet, no. One day. It also doesn't feel very practical at the moment, but it's still a dream. I suppose the real dream as well would be to have a house with a mooring so I could have somewhere to keep all my guitars and be able to have a boat that I could run away on. I do know that poem. That's a great poem. I should get reacquainted with that, actually. Where am I at? Johnny Flynn was also lovely. He's a real hero of mine. That was very nerve-wracking meeting him, but he was great. It was, yeah, he's such a pro. It is wonderful to work with these people who are such pros, because I think I don't know if you can tell, I do feel quite an awkward person sometimes. But then when you're around someone who's so professional but also so relaxed and sort of having fun with something, it really gives you that space to be creative and relaxed and have fun with it as well, which I think is so important in the studio. And I don't think I'd quite realised up until this point how important that is to have fun with it, and not to worry too much, just to kind of go in there and see what happens and be open to ideas. And yeah. Can you expect... Also, can I say I'm really enjoying the questions that start with, so Katherine, I really feel like I'm being interviewed here. It's nice. This new song feels dark. Can we expect more of the same? Maybe, yeah. I would say, like, I'm always a fan of variety. I like it. Say if there was more songs to come out in a collected form. I like it when it has a bit of a kind of ebb and flow. I think it's nice when collections of songs have movement and aren't all really dark or all really happy. I think it's nice when they kind of move. But yeah, I would say I don't feel like I'm in a particularly dark frame of mind, but I listen to mostly rock music rather than folk, and so it is nice to try and bring in a bit more grit and just bring in some like soundscapes and I love all like that. There's little sounds that get into your ears, like the kind of distortion and stuff. I'm a huge fan of that sort of thing. So did a lot of that on Matches, and yes, intend to do more. Chat J. Okay, I'm going to ignore that one. I don't know what that means. Bubble wrap is not the fire. No, not the fire. You'll have to keep thinking. But that was... Oh, it's not vinyl crackle either. No, it's something a bit more commonplace, I would say. And I will say as well, it was played by or made by, I should say, the wonderful Ben Christophers, who I worked with for the first time on this track, and yeah, gosh, what a treat. Lovely, lovely man and an amazing musician. He's got lots of solo stuff, but he's also been doing things with some amazing artists. Like he's worked mostly with Bat for Lashes, Guy Garvey, all sorts. But he's just there was moments when we were recording this where I'd say, oh, I'm not sure what this bit needs, and he'd say, what about this? And in isolation, I'd think, oh, that's crazy, and then we'd kind of layer it in. I'd realise it was exactly what we needed. And being able to just have creative people in the room. Everything I've done before has been me and a producer. So this was the first time I recorded with other musicians in the room. And yeah, it was amazing. So yeah, keep guessing. It's not frying bacon. Crisp packet, I would say, is the closest we've come. That's the closest we've come to so far. What do you do to defeat writer's block? Yeah, this is a big question. And that's one, I think it's different for everyone. Because there's times when I ask people that, because I'm not sure either. I think just be gentle on yourself. Don't force it. Some people say you've got to like force through the bad songs. That isn't actually how I work. If I'm writing a song and it feels bad, I tend to stop and move my attention on something else, which doesn't work for everyone. But I think just regularly making the time and space to sit down with your instrument. And then if nothing's happening, Joni Mitchell said it really well. She said she treats it like crop rotation, and if she's struggling to write, she'll paint, and if she's struggling to paint, I don't know, she does something else creative, and if she's struggling with that, she'll come back to music. And I think that's a really good way to look at it, because it can't become something that feels forced, I think. But you have to remember that if you're sitting down and reading a book, or you're going for a walk, or you're traveling, all of that is that can all help build towards a creative output. So yeah, Ben Christophers, look him up, he's amazing. Just reading your comments. Is there any genre of music you struggle to feel a vibe for? I don't think so, really. I'll listen to anything. I love lyrics. I don't know if you can tell that for my songs. Love lyrics. So anything with good lyrics. I love a good beat. Or just some interesting sounds. So I think really free jazz I struggle with slightly, but maybe I just haven't listened to the right free jazz yet. You're getting really close with the packets. I'm going to tell you, it was actually a paper bag. I don't want to give away the secrets. It feels like a magician giving away their tricks. But yeah, it's a paper bag, and that was a Ben Christopher's idea, because he looked at Rob and said, I'm going to do the paper bag trick, and it was bang on. It worked really, really well. Do you find do I find singing in voice easy, or do I have to work hard at it? I think singing is a muscle, so you just got to keep singing. Sometimes if I've been unwell or I haven't sung in a while, I can really tell. So again, before heading into the studio to do this, I tried to sing every day so that I was kind of warmed up and ready to go. But yeah, it's just like all jobs. You have good days and bad days, I think. I don't think I know Odette Mitchell, so I will check her out. Are we all looking forward to the video, by the way? There is only 6 minutes to go now, just about. So yeah, I should say a little bit more about that. It was, like I said, I worked with Matty Davison, I actually knew him through music originally, but I've been admiring his photography and film work for quite a while. And so we brainstormed this. He heard the song and we brainstormed this idea, and he has totally captured that kind of making it feel dark but also feeling empowering and uplifting at the same time. It's hard because I want to be able to talk more about the video, but I feel like I kind of need to show you first as well. So of course, if you have any more questions following the video, leave it in the comments on YouTube, and I can always answer to you with this new song. I would love to tour with a full band. I mean, financially it's tricky, as there's a lot of commentary about that. It's not an easy thing, the touring scene at the moment. But yeah, I'd love to keep building my live sound. Although there's a lot you can do with 2 or 3 people on stage. But yeah, obviously it would be in my dream. I'd have a brass band over here and a full percussion behind me, maybe a choir. One day. So I see these bands on Graham Norton and Jules Holland and stuff with like this huge backing band. I think that's the dream. But yeah, at the moment, not quite doable. But hopefully, some point soon, I'll keep building that live sound. Full band would be great. No, I agree. What else have we got? Yeah, George is fab. He's not on this song, but yeah, maybe he's on something else. I don't know. What else we got going on? Any more questions? I guess any questions about matches specifically would be now be a good time to do it. They're just loading. But no, it's nice. I'm quite glad I did this in the end. I do get anxious about these sorts of things, but it's good to chat. Today has been fraught with, just watching it all roll out and seeing all your lovely comments has been really, really nice. I appreciate everyone who sent a nice message or commented or shared the song. It's been really. I've had a few really lovely messages from women as well, saying that they've found the song has given them a bit of fire. So that's nice. That's what I'd like to hear. I'm surprised how messy my hair is. I do apologise. It's matches from a new album. Couldn't possibly tell you. I just don't know. Is it? Could it be? Oh, that's nice. Thanks for coming along. Stephen, Kent. I'm glad you're now part of the KP family. Wouldn't it be nice if we could all actually be sat at a pub drinking a little pint of Guinness and doing this in person? Well, I'm glad you like the lyrics, Kerry. That's nice. I think Matches is one of the songs I'm most proud of. And I don't know exactly what it is. I think, like I said at the start, I think sometimes you write a song and you know from the off that you've done something special, and this one feels like one of those for me. I think thematically, lyrically, it's portrayed exactly what I wanted it to, and then going into the studio and recording it in the way we've recorded it has just been the icing on the cake for me. I am really proud of it. It's nice to have a song that I feel like it's actually really got something to say. Not that my other songs don't, but I think some of them are more personal or a bit more whimsical, whereas I feel like this one's got a real message, and I wanted it to have impact and to kind of come in swinging. And I feel like Matches has done that, which does make me feel proud. I'd like to think it might start some conversations, which I think is a beautiful thing with music. I would love to do another listening party for the Brummies and for other people. Really enjoy doing that. Folk mosh pit. I would love to see one of those at a show that may not be happening. If anyone would ever like to start a little Matches mosh pit, that would be perfect. Now, we've only got a minute and a half. I will say at this point, if you're here, which you are, 106 of you are, that's lovely. If you are here, this video is going to automatically take you to the premiere, I believe. And I'll be there as well. So stick around and watch that, and then you can get on with the rest of your evening. Do, I don't know, probably watching Celebrity Traitors or something. Thank you, appreciate that. I've only got a minute, but I'm just going to see. I am teasing, I'm sorry. I am a tease. How do videos come about? Through a lot of discussion, me and Matty had, and my manager John, we had a real mood board going on until we came up with this idea, this final idea. So a lot of discussion, a lot of to and fro. But I think this is my most ambitious video so far in terms of the production and having people involved. Right, you've got 30 seconds, so I'm just going to say thank you so much for coming. Any other questions, do leave them in a comment box on YouTube. Please continue to stream and share and put it on playlists, and stay tuned tomorrow because I might have news. So yeah, I'm not very good at secrets, am I? But yeah, I would say stay tuned tomorrow. So yeah, thanks for coming along. and I will see you at the video in 5 seconds. Cheers! Cheers to all of you for coming along and for hearing me talk to myself.